What is this? What? God, I don't even know. I got a chewy. You know, for a nail biter, this is like way too big. I mean, this is like a kid thing, right? And if it's too big for me, I mean, how's this supposed to emulate like? It's just so big. Like I'm a nail biter. I'm not like a freaking. What? It's so thick. All right, party people, how are you? I was just remembering, and because Zach was talking to me about how I have been a server for 18 years this month. Wow, look at this. This is just crazy right here. Guys, have you seen these? This is the ugliest color they have, but have you seen these pro hair ties? Did you see how easy it was to take out my hair? I should be sponsored for this. I have bought. You don't even want to know how much money I've paid. Oh my gosh, I keep handing these out to people. Look, say another one. I don't hand. This color's not my favorite. I don't like it. It looks like Pepto. But this is the color I hand out. But it's so good. You just wrap it around, and then when you're done, you just unclip. No more boing, 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 boing. Oh, that's the worst. Yeah. And I also got a new shampoo and conditioner, and it is so amazing. I can't believe it. My hair is like light and it's bouncy, and I never thought in a million years that my hair would feel like this. And I was like, oh, I'll just try it. Whatever, can't be as bad as the Red Kim Pureology crap I've been whatever lately. And oh my gosh, my hair. Look at this. I mean, this isn't nothing. This is just curl pattern because my hair is like light and it's not coated, and it's oh wow, it's just so wonderful. Okay, once again, I look like crap because yesterday I had pastel to purple to blue purple and purple lips, and today I'm like doing my rotations. 3 days left. 3. Okay, so I know I haven't dropped my second video, part 2 to my car accident story, and I will drop that, but the day I made the second video was actually on the anniversary day, and I was just having a bad day, and I wasn't feeling right, and I think everything got muddled, and things are just I don't know what's happening. Things aren't good, so I think I'm gonna redo that like with a fresh. It helped me on the ride home, not fall to pieces, but other than that. So I thought while I was going over my last 18 years of serving, there's been some parallels to the start of my serving career and to hopefully the end of my serving career. People are like, oh, you're gonna stop serving? Yeah, well, when you go to school, isn't that the point? Like, you want to, like, oh my gosh, what is up with this glitter? You want to start a career, you know, an adult job and grow up. Gross. So, yeah, so here I am, thinking about parallels from the beginning of my serving career 18 years ago when I was 20 to now. And I had this supervisor. She's a bartender. She's a bartender, and I trained her on the front of the house, and then the person who trained her for bartending, because I was still not bartending. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. It's just gonna be there. Okay, it's just gonna stay there. Oh, is it gone? Anyways, and I was about to get married. She was about getting divorced. She was ballooning up. I had a personal trainer, super blonde hair extensions. Oh, California life. I wasn't tan. I was just, I mean, I go outside for 5 minutes and I'm tan. Like, I'm tanner than, it doesn't look it, but I'm tanner than a lot of people around here. Anyways, so her name was, I can't even say it. That's how bad she was to me. We were about the same age, and she just had it out for me. I think it's because I was going places and she was going down, and she just, like, I was the scapegoat syndrome person. And I mean, I started keeping track. Like, it's a shame that I have to, in certain jobs, from the beginning of my serving career and parallel, like I said earlier, to that I have to keep records and recordings and all kinds of things and have a file on my phone called Saving My, because I can't trust, it's always her word against yours or their word against yours, or they do an internal investigation and nothing gets solved because, oh, she would never do that, or oh, they would never do that, or oh, they're just catastrophizing or all this other stuff. Nah, brah. It might be my interpretation and that interpretation, but let's listen to the recording and you find out. So this chick, I never had anxiety before in my life, and I don't think I've had it ever since. I've been nervous, sure, who hasn't been nervous, but as far as like, I didn't even know what it was. And my husband, to be at the time, was like super pro at this feeling. He was like, oh, that's anxiety, like you're having anxiety. I was having full-blown anxiety attacks. Never, I was 20 and I was sitting here dealing with this raunch. I'm just gonna call her like, see you next Tuesday is not even a bad word, because see you next Tuesday is powerful. Like, we're powerful, we're, whatever. What this person was a pair of balls, weak, feebly balls that when you flick them, they fall over and whatever. Whoever said that girl, pair of balls, was actually an insult, because you shouldn't. This chick was like a feeble pair of balls, and she was just little, such a shit show. She was awful to me. And so I reported her to whoever who reported her. And finally they're like, let's just have a sit down, the regional manager, this person, and then the store manager. And I think I probably have it somewhere, I don't know. On the front of my 10-page, complaint, I had, the definition of harassment, because at the time that was like, you did a little joke about speaking in public, or a definition of the word, like, I've been asked to speak about faith, and according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, faith means kill me. Well, I did that because I was 20 and that was 18 years ago. That was the thing. And it was about harassment, and they're like, and the guy was like, oh, this is a real powerful word you're saying here, like harassment means like whatever. I'm like, I am getting harassed in the workplace. And we proceeded to open the 10-page thing, and we're reading it, and this chick is like, that's not what happened, oh my gosh, that is not what, and I'm like, where's your 10-page report then? Because it's your word against mine, right? Well, here's my burden of proof. Oh, it was horrible. I can't remember what happened to her, but I think she got transferred down to San Diego, because my friend, I can't remember what her name is. I think her name was Ebony. I loved her. We were like twins. Ebony and Ivory Show. I loved her so much. She went down to San Diego and worked at the TGI Fridays, and she was telling me that she was causing the same ruckus with somebody else. She's just, you need to get a hold of yourself. Like, you need to find your values. You need to find your self-esteem and self. I do all these groups, I lead all these groups, occupational therapy groups and stuff like that. And I teach these things to people, and I'm like sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, this person drives me nuts. This person needs that. And oh my gosh, I know why. Like, when you have values, a lot of people don't even know what values are, much less know what their values are. So my core values I've identified, and some of my bestest friends in the world drive me nuts. And I realized that over the years, my values have shifted, and where I once, didn't value resiliency to now, which I do, and I have people falling apart at every little instant, and it's like driving me nuts, is because it's going against my values. So if you don't have your foundation, your values, you can't even go up from there. And this chick had nothing. And I feel like the where I'm at, also nothing. So, a little quick story about that. Furthermore, I just want to say, like, if you think that you're being discriminated, sexual harassed, whatever it is, don't give up on yourself. Because if you don't say something, it's going to keep happening. And maybe you're just like, that's what you need. Maybe that's what you need to get out of there, is just to be like, you know what? I can't fight anymore. Like, it's like it's hurting me more than it's helping anybody. I can't help anybody if I'm not even around any longer. I need to self-preserve, and I need to get out of here. I get that. But I can't accept that, because, if you don't stop it, if you don't stop that flow of hate and that, whatever, it's going to keep happening. For instance, we had a supervisor. I've never had so many problems until I moved to Idaho, besides that one lady. At a place that I worked at for 8 years, going, whatever. It's very, my favorite place. there was this lady there. Oh, pardon the interruption. I'm just making a little vid. Hold on. Okay, sorry, they're doing an oil change. Very fun. Oh yes, do you like my dated decorations? I've got St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, and then over here, past the avocado plants, I have Easter. We've done just a montage. You know what? They're so close together. We just mixed them all into one day. And since we're both working full-time and going to school full-time, it's just hard to get anything done around here. So it makes me extra mad when I have to advocate for people because I don't have time and it takes away from my family, but I won't let them get away with it. I can't let them get away with it. I can't. And where I find problems with teachers and whatever, the most problems I find are people accepting, my coworkers accepting that it's okay to be treated like this because everybody gets treated like this. And they're just so used to it that this is the standard. Oh no, it's not. It's not the standard. Let me tell you. Let me tell you that if sexual harassment, discrimination, age discrimination, any discrimination or whatever like that, it's illegal in most states, if not all. And it's like a federal, like discrimination in general is a federal offense. And it doesn't matter if you're tribal, not tribal, whatever. Any land in this country has to deal with certain regulations, whether you're on sovereign land or not. Like, you have to abide by some federal standards. And this one person, I mean, we wrote so many complaints. And this is kind of like where I'm at in my current situation, is that they're doing internal investigations, nothing's getting done because, not doing that, just like I said earlier, right? And people are doing anonymous complaints because they don't want to have a target on their back, which is what happens. I don't care what you say. And so they do these anonymous reports, and according to corporate, they don't go anywhere. They let you report them, but nothing happens to them because it's really just there's no excuse why you can't. They say you can do anonymous complaints, but if you do, nothing happens. So let's just keep it going, right? And then for years, this woman was doing all kinds of things. She was a predator, and she wasn't the only predator that worked at that place. It was ridiculous. At one point, we finally got her, full-fledged smoking gun proof on camera, doing something against the law. Aww. Your hand's all clean now?
Yeah, there's Oreos on my hand.
There's Oreos on your hand?
Yeah, because that's Oreo soap. Smells like Oreo.
Let me smell.
Let's get out of our coveralls.
Look.
That smells like Oreos to you? It smells like oranges to me.
Sax? Same.
I said oranges.
Oh. Oreos.
Is that what you're saying, is Oreos? Okay, yeah, let's take our coveralls off and we'll...
Orange clean, not Oreo clean. Oh.
We're gonna move it.
Test drive.
What you gonna tell him? Hold on, it's getting serious now. Got her on camera doing something illegal. Reported it. Not just one person, a lot of people. And person comes in, gives her 2 minor reprimands. 2. Sexual harassment is illegal. At least in Idaho. Probably everywhere else. So then, oh dear Lord, I had to write this note. Because obviously nothing was getting done with our regional manager. So I had to go above their head to the next person. I don't even know. The regional, whoever his boss was, that person's boss was. And got it proofread, had a couple people look at it, sent it off at 1 a.m. 9 a.m. on the nose, I start getting phone calls. I didn't leave I didn't leave a name, I didn't leave an email address, but my email address isn't hard to find out. It was my 4x4 from ISU. And what the letter said is, hi, sexual harassment is illegal in Idaho, and I'm going to go to the Idaho Human Rights Commission and report this, and I'm also going to call the sheriff's office and report this because we've actually got hardcore proof that she's done it, and we've got complaints, and we've got people who've written reports, and nothing's getting done, and this person is working, and not just him, not just this one person's been, a lot of people have been the victim of her sexual harassment and her harassment. This was brutal. She broke so many rules, I don't even know. And you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing I want everybody to take away from this right here. You know, we have these people. Yes, they have an open availability. Sure, they fit the bill. We just need someone to be there. We just need someone. They may not be the most qualified or even qualified at all, but they have open availability, and they can be there whenever we call. And then, you know, ergo, we can dump everything and let it be their fault because we hired them and they didn't have the right credentials. And, jeez, but at least they have the open schedule. So they're a warm body. That's all they are, just a warm body holding a hole. Well, you know what I heard recently? I'd rather have a hole than an a-hole. So think about that next time you want to hire a warm body that has an open schedule but doesn't going to fit the bill and is not going to do a good job. You should really think about having a hole rather than an a-hole. Just a thought. Take away from that. So what was the point of the story? So I did an investigation, took all our complaints, put them into one, and then the person ended up resigning before it was concluded because the person who we were reporting everything to had an alleged situation with that person that was, you know, getting reprimanded all the time and just little slaps on the wrist. And that person had a family, so probably didn't want anybody to know. Whatever. She was kind of, this person was very interesting, just very class act, and she's, you know, I don't care, you want to have an open marriage, that's fine, that's your deal, but like the toxicity that this person emits off of her and everywhere she goes is so bad that I can't even, she's probably the worst, like, I gotta stop for a second. I think it was so bad because we were doing our due diligence and doing reports for years and years and years, and people were quitting and people were leaving, and she wrongly affected so many lives. It was heartbreaking to see these good people having like these traumas from her, you know, and she was just so toxic. She's such a toxic person. I don't even know how. I don't care what you do in your life, you make your own choices, but when they start affecting, you know, people, any people, it's got to stop. And so I don't mind advocating. I shouldn't have to. It takes away from everybody, but I mind that this is happening and I can't let it stop. Parallel in my situation now is that we have this mentality that like, I don't feel bad because I did this and I did that, and when I was a server and this and that. Is that helping anybody? Is that helping anybody? Is when I had 87 people and I had a bus and I had to do that. Listen, lady, you were probably never at capacity. This is not the same person. You were never at capacity. Probably ever, and if you were, it wasn't consistent. And people weren't staying for the charm and the service, I'll tell you that right now. Person doesn't have a single charming body in her whole single charming bit about in her whole body. It just doesn't help. Yes, I have been busy. I've had section of hundreds of chairs. I've been the only bartender for a pool with a capacity of 800, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. Yeah, sure. And it's been busy. I've been busy. I've been busy for 10 hours straight outside at a pool with just a Mr. Fan and a Mr. System and a fan. That's it. In Palm Springs with 105 plus degree weather. Maybe not. Maybe 70s. No, it would never be 70. Like maybe 80s to 126. Depending on the day, whatever else. But that's not the point. The point is that place treated us like gold. They treated us so good. They appreciated us and they made it feel that way, and we were treated good. We were treated so good there. I will never stop saying how, sure there was some people that made it bad, but the values was what stood out at the end of the day, and those situations were handled, and in the end it made everybody better. That the place I'm currently working at, there's values too, but it just seems like, you know, people just are so used to getting treated bad, and these people who were once where I and my other people are at, and then they move up and yet they treat them like how they used to get treated. It's kind of like in The Help when they say, you know, we raise these women's children and they grow up and the women treat us bad, and then they grow up and they love us and then they treat us the same way. And they're the evil, dictators in the household. And that's what's going on. It's because they got treated a certain way. They just want to keep it going. And this just, pride cycle's got to stop. It's got to stop. It's not doing anybody any good. So don't be afraid to speak up. You can make the change. You can, if you look back and you say, like, I did what I could, and you feel good about that, then that's great. Or if you look back and say, I did what I could and I had to take care of myself at the end, as long as you can go back and say, like, I tried, then that's great. But I am white, which gives me privilege, and that's unfortunate. But the way that I see these people getting treated, knowing what the rules are and knowing what's not okay and seeing it happen by them to them, I don't even know. So I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid to speak up. What's the worst that can happen? Because if your situation is already bad and it can't get any worse, then might as well just speak up. Do what makes you comfortable. Do what you can. But we've got to leave this world better than how we got it, because we got it in such a state. So I'm just reviewing policies and procedures right now so I can write yet another complaint to bring more ethical treatment to my coworkers. So I was 18 years as a server. Had its good times, it's had its bad times, mostly good. But a lot of people stay in serving because the money's good. But you can't put a price tag over mental health. And to say, well, I can't find another job that pays as good, or I can't find another job. And yet at the end of the day, is that what really matters? Yeah, you know, maybe you can't afford, you know, certain luxuries and stuff like that. You may have to eat ramen, but it's just what is the price tag of your mental health? You tell me what that is, you know, that's great. But you tell yourself what that is, and you put that in perspective, because you're just going to keep putting money over your personal health or your mental health, your physical health. I don't know. It's not going to last. It's not going to last much longer. And if it does, it's not going to be a worthwhile kind of life. So break the cycle. That's all I got.